it became very therapeutic for me.
I've heard.
There was a reason to get up in the morning. There was a reason to go on. And yeah, it was just painting, but man, it meant everything to me.
Welcome to Broad Strokes, a paint contracting podcast for women by women. We know how much hard work and dedication it takes to run a successful painting business, and this is the place for us broads to BS all about it. Join your host, Tana Todd, and celebrate the achievements of women who are kicking ass in the world of paint contracting. Let's BS about it. Welcome back, everyone, to Broad Strokes. Today, on Monday, the 26th of October, I have the pleasure of sitting down with a self-proclaimed midget from the state of Washington who's been painting and making an impact in her community. And I'm very excited to speak with this guest today because she was recommended by so many followers of the show to me by name. So without further ado, all the way from Olympia, Washington, welcome, Kathi Beattie. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I am fantastic. Snow's coming down. It's cold. Winter is showing its face in Colorado, and I dig it. I love the snow. I love driving in the snow. I ain't scared of no snowdrift. It's great. It's a good time. Reminds me of being back home in Washington.
There you go. Today the weather is sunny out, believe it or not. No rain.
What?
No rain, yeah. It's kind of like, are we living in Washington State?
Right? You want to go out there and get a little suntan while you can.
At 50-degree weather, absolutely.
Right?
I am Kathi. I am from Olympia. Actually, I am from a little town away from Olympia. It's called Lacey. I have been here for 7 years. I started painting 25 years ago.
Wow.
So I am old. And I started in Portland, Oregon.
Cool. The weird place.
Pardon?
Portland, the weird place.
The weird place, yes. I lived there from 1982 to 2013.
Wow.
And I started my business in 95. And it was not even a painting business when I started. And
what was it?
I painted from 1995 to 2013 and then found the love of my life. Yay! And moved over to Lacey and then and I was going to reopen the business up again at that time, but I got really sick for a few years and actually did not reopen up the business until 2018.
Wow.
Here in Lacey. So I've actually had 2 painting business and 1 cleaning business.
Wonderful. That's awesome. So it's really go ahead.
I'm here now doing it. I'm here now painting away in Lacey, Olympia, Tacoma area, DuPont, Stillcombe, places like that.
That's awesome.
And have painted in Seattle a couple times, but yeah, it's doing good.
Awesome. I was going to ask you, how did you come into painting, being all of 4'9", and you said that your first business, it wasn't a painting business, right? Was it the cleaning business?
No, it was a professional cleaning business.
Okay.
It was, I cleaned new construction homes and apartment turnovers.
Okay.
And hated it.
Doesn't sound like glamorous work, no.
No, it's not. No. And so I was talking to someone and they said, "Hey, Kathi, do you know how to make good money quickly?" And I went, "No, but I'm listening."
All right, rub them together.
Yeah. They said, "Start painting." And I said, "Okay." Never painted before. But I said, "Okay, why not?" So I talked my rental agents, my landlord at the time, if I could paint one of the apartments in the apartment complex I was living in. And she said, okay. Hated it. By the time I got done with a 3-bedroom, walls and ceilings, I was not saying very nice words.
Choice 4 little sprinkles.
Yes, because they wanted me to paint the ceilings, but I never painted ceilings before, and they're the popcorn ceilings. everything falls down
Uh,
on you, but it's paint. Yeah, I was not a happy camper and vowed I would never paint again.
Popcorn ceilings did it in for you. Like, to hell with it.
25 years later, I'm still doing it.
The question is, are you insane?
Pardon?
There's an old joke out there somewhere, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results makes you an insane person.
Yeah, I am. That's okay. We have to be. I'm a little insane, but that's okay.
Right. You kind of got to be crazy to run your own business, right?
Everybody needs a crazy in their life.
Right. So the popcorn ceilings suck, which, yeah, I can vouch for that. That's a service I never want to do on my own.
I started doing a second one and a third one and a fourth one and started loving it.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided no more cleaning for me and rebranded my business, even with a new name and everything, and went for it.
What was the name of your cleaning business from before?
Odds and Ends Cleaning Service.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
And then it went to Odds and Ends Painting because I don't have very much of an imagination and couldn't figure out another name. So I thought, I just scrape off service, paint cleaning service, and put on painting. Boom.
Boom. Ready made. Done. Boom. Well, then you changed the name of your business.
Pardon?
So you changed the name of your business, your painting business, to A Woman's Touch.
Right.
What year was that?
I did that when I decided to reopen up the business in Olympia, Lacey, Olympia. I decided to change the name because that name was my old name was in Oregon.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of start all over again with a new name,
mm-hmm.
and my significant other wanted me to change the name too.
Okay.
Because that name was associated with an X.
Yeah, you got to drop all the baggage.
Yep. And so actually my wife was the one that picked out the name.
That's amazing. So I was going to say, you settled on, I say settled. You chose A Woman's Touch painting, and that was your wife's suggestion. How did that conversation go?
Well, when I told her, through my sickness, I did paint a little bit. I painted for friends or friends of friends, but I didn't do it professionally.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do it like full time. And when I talked to her, I said, hey, I'm going to start the business again. And she said, hey, I don't want your old business name. And I said, well, what sounds good? And so we went back and forth, and she said, well, let's see, you're a woman and you're painting, and women are cleaner painters than guys are.
We'll have to ask the audience. Go on, sorry.
And I've been told that, women are a little bit more particular than...
Things like that have been tossed around throughout many generations. Yes. I've heard it.
And so she said, a woman, and she said, woman painting, touch, how about a woman's touch painting? And I thought, sounds good because I have no,
Mr. Bigglesworth, should we call it a woman's touch, Mr. Bigglesworth? Will it make us millions? Sorry. So you liked it?
That's how it came about.
Awesome.
And I have to give credit to my wife.
Mm-hmm. Shout outs to the wifey.
Shout out to the wife. Shout out. Okay.
As she leans out the doorway and shouts down the hallway.
Yeah.
I gotta explain that to you, people who are just listening and not catching the video broadcast.
Yeah, we're on podcast too, so
it's good. We're doing both at the same time. From where I'm sitting, those of you who are listening and haven't caught the video quite yet, I'm taking a long gander at Kathi in her natural environment, and in the room she's in, the wall behind her is covered in NFL gear. We got Seattle Seahawks represented in a huge way, and also the Dallas Cowboys, which maybe I'm biased, but it's very good.
couple of problems this year.
Yeah.
We're going through quarterbacks like water, and a lot of things, that's okay.
But back to the subject at hand.
Next season.
There's always next season, right? Yeah, I got a couple of Cowboys friends of mine that are not super happy with the season's progression.
You know what? Since I live in Washington State, I am also a Seahawk fan.
You're on the bird wagon.
Seahawks, yay!
Oh, it's okay. We got a new NHL team now to get excited about. That's the Krakens.
Yeah. I forgot to wear my hoodie.
You know, I have a question that's totally paint related. We're going to take a tiny segue, and that is in this. So I've noticed something about color, right? I love speaking with painters and people in the design industry because color is so important, right? And I've noticed a theme. It's always these shades of kind of emerald and green and sea foams and deep blues. And just curious, when you paint homes, do those colors come up a lot, or are people pretty standard indoor grayish, white?
It all depends. You know, in my many years of painting, I have painted. It's majority of the neutral colors.
Yeah,
the tan, you know, the off-whites, you know, stuff like that. But there have been times that I have, those bright colors usually come in like in an accent wall. I do a lot of dark colors, emerald greens, chocolate browns, dark tans, navy blue, type of just one wall, an accent wall, like in a living room or in a bedroom and stuff like that. But also one job that I recently painted, they wanted teal, like a bright teal, and orange walls. And so that's what I painted.
I did see on your social media an orange room. Was that the same one with the teal?
No, that is a different room.
Different one.
I painted over that orange, but I have also painted orange. I mean, I've painted every color under the sun. I used to live in Bend, Oregon for about a year and a half. And one lady that we painted for when I did have employees, was her exterior, and the colors were Minnesota Vikings colors.
Oh my gosh. So purple and gold?
Purple on the body, gold trim with a red door.
Oh, I need to see a picture of that job. No. She said no. There's another question. You could ask the same thing.
Good, but yeah.
Say that one more time. I was talking over you.
Oh no. I said it turned out really good. And next door we had painted an exterior that was pumpkin orange with black trim, and that was cool looking. But people go, "Oh, that's really cool looking." And they look at the other house going, "Who painted that house?" And we go,
it was the same person.
No.
Well, like with any visually stimulating trade or art, right? Sometimes your client asks for it and you just deliver, right?
Yep, I am only painter.
Right. You're not there to make judgment calls as to whether the colors are going to do anything good.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, so we never admitted that we painted it, but it did turn out fantastic.
That's good. That's very good.
But, that was the most weirdest one that I painted.
That definitely checks a box off on my list of things I need to know. Like, what's the weirdest thing you've ever painted? Pumpkin house. Cool. Check. Pumpkin/Vikings house.
I've also painted where every room was a different color in the whole house.
Okay.
And that was interesting, and it had to be, and it was favorite colleges that they liked, my client. So one was the Oregon Ducks.
Okay.
One was
Go Ducks.
The Beavers, Oregon.
OSU Beavs.
Yep. One color was the Cougars.
Go Cougs.
And UW. And then they had one of their kids liked Michael Jordan, so they liked the North Carolina colors.
Very cool.
Blue. Mm-hmm. So everybody had a room that they liked, the colleges, and then they would put the colors on the walls, and it was interesting.
I think interesting would be the word, right?
Yeah, it was. But no, it's been enjoyable. It's been an enjoyable 25 years.
Yeah. Do you have a landmark project that you did that just really stands out to you in all your time? A client that was just so happy and thrilled with the work you did?
I've had quite a few. I've had a lot. But one that I had where this was in Portland, and this was years ago, and my client was dying. And believe it or not, her wish was to paint her house.
Wow.
In the inside, because she was going to pass away. She didn't want to pass away at home, at the hospital. So she requested certain colors in her room. And once I got done with it, she cried. She was so happy to see, what transpired in her room and the colors. And then, we decorated with certain type of furniture and pillows and stuff like that, complemented the walls that I just painted. She was thrilled.
Oh, I'm so glad.
She was so happy. She had tears in her eyes. Her daughter had tears in her eyes. The husband had tears in his eyes, and it was a cry fest.
I bet. Oh my gosh.
And when she did pass away, they emailed me and everything and said that she passed away with a smile on her face.
And you got to be a part of that, creating the right space. That is so important. I can't think of a time in many folks' lives where the ambiance, the emotion in the room, the place that you are making that transition to the beyond, that has to be a very special and well-coordinated space. And that's really neat that you were able to give that to her.
And you know what? And it was nice because she passed away about 6 months after I got the job done. So she enjoyed it a little bit.
Good.
Which was really, really nice.
Yeah.
And I think with all the paint jobs that I've done, I remember that one the most.
That's wonderful. I really hope that if you have any photos of that project or anything, I'd love to have you send those to me later so we can share that incredible project with the listeners out there and those who are following us on social media. Truly inspiring.
You did get my photos.
I did. Yeah, I got some. Yeah. Yeah, I did. Oh, it's wonderful. So circling back to some lighter material, I really enjoy speaking with women who have a different perspective, and every woman's got one. But being a woman of color, being also very short, and also being very Asian, these are all parts of your intersectional identity that are who you are.
Anybody that is listening to the podcast, I am Asian.
Yes.
I may sound white, but I'm Asian.
But I'm just curious, and especially with a business name like A Woman's Touch, right? That is in your face, this is a women-led business. Have you ever encountered any kind of negativity, any negative reactions? Yeah, why?
Because of everything that you just said.
Yeah.
I'm short. I am only 4'9".
Mm-hmm.
I'm Asian.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I've had some, it's not racist in your face remarks.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the past I've had where, I don't sound Asian, so I sound very, very Caucasian. And the reason why, because I'm adopted.
Mm-hmm.
I was born.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was born. Yeah.
She was born, indeed.
I was born. Hallelujah. But I was not born in the United States. I was born in Seoul, Korea.
Yeah.
So, and I was adopted. And in fact, when I came to America, coming to America today. I flew in from Korea to SeaTac. So Washington basically is the first state I lived in, because when I landed in SeaTac, the first town that I lived in, I found out when I got all my adoption records, or as many as I could get, my first city that I lived in was Centralia.
Wow.
So I've made a complete circle. Went from Washington, Idaho, Oregon, back to Washington again.
Awesome. The Great Pacific Northwest is happy to have you.
Oh, I am a Pacific Northwest baby.
There's a thing for those of you who are not as familiar with the Pacific Northwest. We call it Cascadia, and it's just kind of this unofficial alliance of states, Washington, California. Well, most of California. We like the northern half, Oregon and Idaho. We all just, if there's ever going to be a time when the states had to separate again, Cascadia would go in its own direction.
Yep, it would.
In Denver or around Colorado, we call that place Boulder, the People's Republic of Boulder. So
I have never been to Colorado. Would love to go to Colorado.
Oh, we got to get you down here for one of our events. When COVID has taken its full course, and eventually someday we will return to some semblance of normalcy, at least normal-ish routine, right?
Right.
And then we can start having those nice events again to get together and share knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope that comes about. I mean, everybody says this is our new normal. And so I'm hoping it's not. But yeah, I would love to come to Colorado. We would, and I've kind of like flown over it a few times.
Pretty to look through out the window.
Hey, look, there's Colorado in between all the clouds.
Right.
But no, to go back to your actual question that you asked me 2 hours ago. Yes, I have dealt with racism, and it's very, very subtle. Because when someone calls me for a bid, I'll go in my little van and drive over there and knock on the door, and they'll look at me and they'll give me the up-down look, and they go, "Oh, you're Asian," and it's kind of like, "Oh, I know I'm not going to get this bid."
If you had to put a number, let's say, out of 10 bids in your history of work, how many do you think your race and or gender and or identity have prevented you from maybe having a successful client relationship?
I would say 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. That's pretty rough. 30% of the time in your lifetime, you've suffered discrimination, which has cost you money.
And the thing about it is, it's not. Once if it's not the Asian, can be also, obviously they know that they're calling a woman.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. I do have a low voice.
But it's not that low.
I'm the Marvel Man.
Hey, baby. Sorry.
Hey, baby. Anyway, even though they know I'm a woman and they know that's who they're calling, I get just, it's more, if it's not my nationality, it's my height. Mm-hmm. Or if we start talking and they, we talk about spouses and I will say a she. I say, my spouse, her name is, they kind of look and go, oh, okay. Yeah. And that's, that's kind of sad. Washington State is a very liberal state, especially when up north more than where we are at. And I don't get it all the time, but every once in a while I get that look.
Yeah.
And I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Since I'm really old. And so, but it's still, there are people that are still standoffish, which is really, really sad because, we are all human beings.
Right. The fact of the matter being that, forever and always, anybody whose identity resides in the outside other category, right? The air quote other category right. is threatening and different, but it's 2020, right? The idea that simply being a woman means that you are handicapped in doing jobs that require physical labor is just preposterous to me. Everybody listening here knows that paint rollers come with long handles.
Well, and people go, "Oh, you're 4'9". Can you carry? How can you carry this ladder? It's so heavy." And I go, "Well, sir, I have hands and arms, and I pick it up and I carry it."
All of these things work together.
one of these things is not like the other. Just kidding. No, I don't say it like that, but it's kind of like, all because I am 4'9" doesn't mean that I can't paint. Doesn't mean that I can't hold a ladder.
Right.
Doesn't mean that I can't do paint vaulted ceilings.
Right. Yeah, there's things called ladders and step stools and roller handles and paint guns. It's incredible. It's amazing to me, like the archaic attitudes that exist, especially around, physically demanding jobs. I was in the military for 6 years, and one of the coolest things I ever saw, and I actually didn't get to know this person very well. I just got to watch it happen. I'm not very tall either. I'm only 5'3", which is only, we had a stealthy camera come into frame, snap a photo, and then come on out. But so I was short, but then I found this gal.
Edit that out. You can edit.
Oh
that
no,
out.
It stays. It's good.
No, it's not going to stay.
All good.
Oh boy.
But anyway, I just remember, very physically demanding aspects of the job that I had in the military as a Patriot air defender, right? And in this other job that worked closely with us, they had an even more physical job to do. They had to run miles and miles of cable. And I saw this gal, all of 4'9", running her drills with a milk crate in her hand. And she, with authority, would run around this equipment, drop her little milk crate, jump up on there, get in the, the man station, whatever it is she was doing, whatever tools she needed to do, whatever task she needed done. She just threw that little milk crate down there, got the job done, and went, and in record time. The looks on the adjudicators' faces when we were going through certification processes to see the kind of hustle and ingenuity that came out of the little people, to us, it's no big shock. To you, not a big shock. It's just part of your life. But to everyone else, like, oh, I'm just blown away. And they almost want to write an article about it. Like, it's so inspiring. Like, it's just a milk crate. Right? Like, how about the great job that I did? Not the fact that I did it while short.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And you get used to it after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. They go, oh wow, you can really do that. Yeah.
Sure can.
But I'm used to it.
Yeah.
My goal is, when I go to a client's place and paint, my goal is to make them happy.
Yes.
And to make their house beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I enjoy.
Yeah.
And that is, it's so simple, but for me it's so simple, but it's so enjoyable. Oh, it's painting. It's putting paint on the walls, but people don't understand that it can be an art too.
Absolutely.
Because I can't tell you how many times people call me and go, I started painting my house on the inside and I just can't do it anymore.
I'm tossing it in the bucket, throw it in the towel.
Paint all over himself. There's paint all over the floor. The tape is coming off. We thought we could do this. We can't. Come help us.
Yeah.
And there I go, my little van driving over there.
Oh my goodness. Everybody listening, we're driving little invisible service vans over here with our little wheels.
Riding my little smart car, because that's about as big as I am. That'd be funny, driving a smart car to paint, those little tiny cars.
Yes.
And then getting out. Perfect, isn't it?
You could develop a whole product line of extendable reach poles and like things that collapse for the one woman or the small painting company, right? That's got short folks. It's like, listen. Take a leaf out of the 50s, right? When they designed everything to collapse and disappear into your kitchen, right?
That's not a bad idea.
Right? Extendo handles, extendo this. Like, perfect. Good.
Perfect. We should go into business.
Right? Maybe I should. So speaking of business, you have a pretty loyal Facebook following, by the way, A Woman's Touch Painting on Facebook, which you should all check out, by the way, from Olympia, Washington. You get to see some of her project photos. Kathi does an incredible job of keeping everybody updated at the quality of her work. So good job on that. And you have to forgive me for sounding a little preachy, because I judge websites and do media and marketing all the time. And so I'm always looking for things to give kudos and praise and help anybody I know, improve their marketing.
I appreciate it.
Right? But what you don't have is a website right now so that people can see all that.
I don't.
Well, I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about just how wonderful a person you already are. We had our test call last week. I've had all these recommendations for you. I love your attitude and outlook. And I had a talk with the boss here at IMA Media, and we're going to get you set up with a website free of charge.
Wow. Seriously?
Yes, 100%. 150%. That's not a real number.
Gosh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've been sitting here itching on it for part of this conversation today.
Oh my gosh.
But I just got to let you know, Kathi.
My day.
I'm super glad. Well, and when we get it built out, it'll be even better.
Thank you. Hey, did you? God, I'm recording. Sorry.
It's all good. So I wanna make sure everybody knows out here that what's most important. The big goal of this show at Broad Strokes is to talk about the stories of women who go out there and do great work and talk about, just life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness through paint. And
oh my gosh,
it's important that you are able to show the world your worth and your quality and to rise to meet more clients, right? So we want to help you with that. We're going to get that website set up for you, and we'll make sure that we get those backlinked to all these episodes, and we'll drop a link in the description after this episode publishes. But we're going to work with you. We're going to make something really wonderful, and we hope that you're able to see an increased client load so that you never have to feel the sting of somebody discriminating against you. You just be like, okay, cool. Well, on to the next person, on to the next call. Right?
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
You are most welcome.
I can't even express how happy I am. I so appreciate that.
You're most welcome.
I can't even, no one's ever done this. Thank you.
You are a very deserving person to have a website that reflects who you are. So that's going to be a really fun build.
I appreciate that. It's like I said, it's been sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
She's looking at me. No, I'm recording. Sorry. Edit that part.
It's all fine. It is all good.
Thank you. Like I was saying before, I had a few really rough years.
Yeah.
Just really quickly, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer back in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was living in Oregon, and that got taken care of. And then when I moved here to Lacey, I was diagnosed that my thyroid cancer came back in 2015. And on top of that, at the same time, in the same week, I got a phone call saying I had stage 2 breast cancer.
Wow.
And so,
that's so much.
I went through that. I've been over 15, 20. I have been 5 years breast cancer free.
Yay!
Almost 6. It will be 5 years next year. September of 2021 will be 5 years of being thyroid cancer free.
Yes. Good to hear.
And so, and on top of all that, I have a neurological disease called MS.
That's a doozy.
Primary progressive MS. But you know what?
That's not slowing you down.
No, and the thing about it is, this is what I was trying to get at, is through all my sicknesses, painting to me is just not a job. Painting to me is just not being an owner of a painting company and, blah, 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 blah. During those hard times, I still painted when I could. Like I was saying, for friends or friends of friends or relatives. It became very therapeutic for me.
I've heard.
There was a reason to get up in the morning. There was a reason to go on. And yeah, it was just painting, but man, it meant everything to me. So to make a long story longer, painting means the world to me. It's just not a business to me. It's just not slapping paint on the walls.
Right. It's a passion project.
It's a passion. It's therapeutic, and basically it helped me go on during those really dark times. So you offering what you're offering brings a full circle.
I think you deserve it.
I so appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You are most welcome. So I'm going to take a quick pause here. I'm sorry to cut right in the middle of there. I'm about to get kicked out of my podcast booth by Nick, but we're going to actually make a longer series. We're going to make a little longer series about our chats here and talk you through the whole design process. And we're going to make something real special out of making your website. So we might be cutting our conversation a little short today, but this will be a saga that continues, and it'll be something that I'm excited to share with the listeners and the viewers out there that follow Broad Strokes. I'm happy to have had you today on the show, and we're going to get in touch and get all the loose ends on this deal with the website tied up here. But I want to make a statement to everybody out there in the whole wide world, especially women who have faced discrimination. It's all about how you rise and you take those licks, you bundle it up, and you keep your drive up no matter what the obstacle is. Cancer, doubters, sexism, whatever it is.
No, I mean, people discriminate because of age. You know, I am 58 years old. I am
It's
58
rough.
and I'm still going strong. And it is rough. Yes.
I mean that people are rough for being rude about it. That sounded wrong.
You're home.
But thank you once again. I so appreciate you, Kathi. You're going to be able to find out more about this show and check out Kathi's work on Facebook for now. Facebook.com. That's going to be A Woman's Touch painting out of Lacey, Washington. Kathi Beattie, it has been an absolute pleasure. And once again, I'm a proud to give you this website. Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, we'll catch you next time on Broad Strokes. See you later.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning into Broad Strokes, a paint contracting podcast for women by women. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for behind-the-scenes content, guest galleries, memes, and more. If you want to be on the show, shoot us an email to broadstrokes@imamedia.com. And until next time, I'm your host, Tana Todd, and it's been a pleasure BSing with you today. Sponsored by Benjamin Moore and Estimate Rocket.